There are 5 of substitutive or alternative products, threat of bargaining power of suppliers, and bargaining power of customers. Further, it says that in order to ward off these threats, we use different strategies. Strategy is a long-term plan, anything we execute to get benefit for a long period of time, say 5 or 10 years. Strategy is a long-term plan, wherein what we use in order to get a benefit for a long period of time, say 5 to 10 years. 5 to 10 years time. Then we talked of the various strategy that we can use. One is strategy of cost leadership. The other is strategy of innovation, strategy of product differentiation or service differentiation, strategy of growth, and strategy of alliance. So there are 5 strategies that has been suggested that we can use in order to ward off these different kinds of threats. These strategies that we can use is firstly cost leadership strategy, differentiation strategy, focus differentiation strategy, strategy of innovation, strategy of innovation, then of growth and alliance. Now these strategies are could be mutually exclusive. That is, we can use them singly one at a time, or we can use them as a combination. So we could use them as a combination of a strategy. Say with cost leadership, we could also innovate. With innovation, we could also have a growth strategy and so on. So these are the strategies that we talked of that we can use in order to ward off these threats. We had discussed a few of them, like we had discussed the cost leadership strategy, where we took the example cost leadership strategy, where we talked of online purchase order system, an online order system wherein we reduce on the paperwork that we were earlier engaged in. We reduce on the paperwork that we were earlier engaged in. In this context, for cost leadership, we took the example of Dell, where Dell had eliminated all the intermediaries, and therefore the cost which would occur by placing intermediaries between itself and the customer was done away with. So then we took the example of, we called it Dell Direct, wherein Dell accepted orders from the customer, and only on receipt of the order would they produce the goods. We call this method manufacture to order syndrome, under which we manufacture after we have received order. So Dell would undertook assembly of computers once the customer placed the order, and they also specified what they want. They want a motherboard of Intel, or they want a motherboard of Acer, they want keyboard of Logitech, or a monitor of Dell, and so on and so forth. So the benefit was the customers would get very customized goods as per the requirements, and the benefit the company got is the benefit that the company got was they did not have stock of goods left with them, and as such they were able to reduce on the cost. We also took an example of eBay online auction, which went into online auction, which gives you huge reach, because you're in an online system. You are able to reach customers or clients all across the globe, and they could. It's an anytime, anywhere auction. You could auction. Your client could be placed anywhere, and they could bid for your auction from any place, and so your reach increased. Then also there was no need of physically moving the item, which is placed on auction. You don't have to take it to the place of auction. So once it's picturized and put on the portal, and people bid for it, and once the bidding has closed, do you physically take the item to the customer's doorstep to whom it has to be delivered. We talked of convenience, we talked of increasing reach, we talked of so there are so many benefits that online auction system got. So this was another example that we talked of. Then under differentiation, we discussed Avnet Marshall, which were into design and delivery, and they are into the B2B setup. We also took example of Apple, which talks of which talks of giving very differentiated products. So their basic element is their products ought to be innovative, and they have to be different from the others. And Steve Jobs said no to research. He said that there's nothing called consumer research or market research, where we need to assess what the customers wants are. His perspective was very different. He said customers actually do not know what they want unless until you have delivered to them, unless until you have shown them. So that was what he talked of. So they believed in a differentiation strategy. Then we moved to a strategy of innovation, and we were discussing this. And in a strategy of innovation helps a customer, helps a company design a system in order to match your competitive needs. So whatever innovation strategy you have, that should be aligned to your goal, that should be aligned to the vision of your organization. So they should be in alignment to your objectives of the organization. So you could create new products and services, and make radical changes to your business process, which would help in decreasing the cost, which would help in improving the quality, which will help in increasing the efficiency with which you deliver the goods to the customers, and also many a time shorten your lead time. Help you shorten your lead time. An innovation strategy therefore helps design a system to match your specific competitive needs. Competitive needs. Now, herein we take the case of Charles Schwab and Company, their online discount stock trading system. The basic business benefit that they got was market leadership. We have an example of FedEx also. They're also the basic benefit that you get is of online package tracking and flight management system. Basic benefit was again market leadership. Amazon.com's online full service customer system. The basic benefit was again market leadership. Now, in an innovation strategy, before the online trading emerged, traders would trade through brokerage firms, or they would appoint brokers to trade for them, and they would give them an order of a buy or a sell order, and the trader would engage into trading on behalf of the customer, on behalf of its client. It was a very tedious process and also a very costly process. However, still there are many who still indulge in an offline trading system. So in this case, in an companies are performing, you could see your past investments also. You could also see your past investments, and all this is available through your dashboard. You can access what's previous investment statement, online trading benefits. Students, could you mute your systems? So you can even read news about how the companies are performing. You can view the list of securities held through your dashboard. You can see your previous investments, and therefore the online trading system helps to benefit both. It benefits the traders on one hand, and it also benefits the brokerages into trading on your behalf. So there are many benefits that you see. First, it eliminates the middlemen to work for you. It eliminates the middlemen. One can buy and sell without interference of a broker. This one may not want to spend so much money on appointing a broker to do the work for you. Now, this is a faster viewing how you're seeing the news. You're viewing how each of the companies perform. and you immediately decide either to sell. In an offline system, you would see, and then you'd send information to your broker to either sell or buy your trading activity to either buy or sell. In the system, you view on your own, you see in the dashboard how the companies are performing, executed, get the work executed. It's a cheaper method because if a broker trades for you, it costs in an online trading system. Again, there is a brokerage fee that you pay, but which is very in an offline system. Now, this is because in this case, it's a trading firm which does, and the trading firm has a number of clients. So the cost he would charge from us. So it's a cheaper method. If a broker trades for you, he charges a huge brokerage fee levied. It is levied by the institutional broker, by the trader, but then they are working for many out across many clients. Now, if it offers you greater investor control, when we are on an online system, and that during the trading hours, one can also take your own decision without any interference appointed. You can take your own decision, so you have greater control over the way you function on the stock market. Also, monitor investment in real time. You can monitor investment in real time in an online trading platform because it has very advanced tools and interfaces. You can monitor your investing performance, how you're doing. You can do your own research as to where the investment should be made because everything is available to you at the click of a button. You can monitor your own investment performance. You can do your own research. You can see the gain you're going to have or the loss you're going to have, and you can take a very what you call an intelligent decision or a very conscious decision. So one can monitor investment in real time, and an online trading platform, it has, because it has advanced tools and interfaces to monitor your performance. You can do your undertake your own research. You can see if you invest here how you're going to gain or you're going to lose, and therefore you can make a very informed or a very intelligent decision, and you can do so from anywhere through your own mobile computer, whatever. Now, how does this online trading system work? When one buy online, buy or sell a stock through an online trading, his orders get executed within seconds. His orders would get executed within seconds. But within these seconds, many operations take place, which one is not aware of. So when you buy or sell a stock through an online trading, your orders also get executed, and they get executed within seconds. They get executed within seconds. Many operations take place, maybe of which you're not aware of, such as the order, such as once order gets registered, his order is placed on a database. His order gets placed in a database, so it searches for a seller. So the moment you want to trade, it searches for a seller, and when the buyer and seller is matched, that is how much you are going to offer. That should be acceptable to a buyer. So if this what the seller wants to offer, it should be available. It should be acceptable to the buyer. So once both the seller and buyer is matched, a confirmation message is sent to both the parties, and the order and the price are reported to the regulatory body. So they also track as to how much stock is in whose account, how much stock is in whose account. Regulatory body overlook all the trading activities and are displayed to all the investor. The trading records get stored in case regulators want to study your past transactions, because they're all, now you'll have a database of all the activity that you've engaged in. Stocks you've sold, bought, all that is recorded there. So in case regulators want to see your past records, past transactions, a contract is sent to the broker who sold shares and the broker who bought them. The brokerage have 3 days to exchange cash and shares, and this is called settlement. Now what happens is, initially, how does it work? When you buy or sell a stock, a share through online trading, his orders get executed within seconds. The execution takes place within minutes. But within these seconds, many operations actually take place of which you're not aware. Once order would get registered and your order gets placed in the database. So you have a record of all the transactions that you've done, number of buys and number of sells. And then the moment it gets recorded, it searches for a seller to match the buyer with the seller. So how much you're selling, how many shares you're selling, what cost you're selling, that should be acceptable to the buyer. So once the buyer and seller match, a confirmation message is sent to both the parties. The order and the price are reported to the regulatory bodies. They overlook the trading activities, and they also display to the investors, to the people who have invested. it is called a settlement. We call it a settlement. Now we take an example of Federal Express. Now this is how Charles Schwab is doing it in an online stock trading system. Another example of innovation is that of Federal Express. In short, we call it FedEx. Their innovation was an online package and flight management system. Now, Federal, this is basically a courier company, and what is critical for a customer of a courier company is to ensure whether your product reaches the destination customer on time or not. So this is most critical for any courier company. For any courier company, the most critical fact is to ensure that the packet that you've sent, the package that you have sent, reaches the customer uh, or before the time. So on the delivery date. So that is most critical for you. So if I would choose a company which is more reliable, means which ensures that my product reaches the customer on time. So they initiated what was called an online package traffic and flight management system, under which once you send the courier, you're able to track where your courier is. I'm sending it to Texas in USA. So I should be able to know when it is going to reach. It tells me that I'm sending it today being 5th of March, it is going to be delivered, say, on 8th of March. So tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I should be able to track where my product is and calculate ascertain for myself whether it will be delivered by 8th or not. So in this case, what they did is they selected 20,000 best customers. They identified 20,000 best customers, and to these customers, they gave them a FedEx free PC and a ship software and a FedEx ship software. So in this, they identified 20,000 best customers, and they identified the 20,000 best customers based on two criteria. How did they select? Based on two criteria. That is the time period, how long he has been my customer, and the volume of business that they give me. How much transactions, how many times do they use my services to send a packet, to send a courier to some destination. So how long he's been my customer, it was one criteria, and the other criteria was on the volume of business, how much business that they give to me, how much I'm able to generate, how much I'm able to funds how much funds I'm able to generate through my transactions with this particular customer. So based on these two criteria, they ranked the customers, and the top 20 customers were selected. So based on these two criteria, how long he has been my customer and the volume of business, they ranked the customers from 1 to 3, 4 like that, and they 20,000 customers, and they identified them to be the best customers. Now to these 20,000 best customers, they give them what is the FedEx free PC. They give a free PC, and they also give a ship software, FedEx ship software. So when they would install the software on the PC, and the benefit was that they would be able, therefore, to connect to their headquarters, which were in Memphis, and by feeding the courier package number, they would be able to identify the status of the parcel. That is where your courier product is, and thereby being able to identify whether your client would receive your product on time or not. So this is another example of innovation. They were the first to think about an online package delivery system, package tracking system, whereby the customer, by sitting at his home, by feeding just the courier package number, he's able to identification number. He's able to track where his product is, and whether I'm sending the product on 5th of March, whether it will be delivered to the customer on whether it will be delivered to the customer in time or not. So what did they do is to 20,000 best customers, they gave a PC and a FedEx ship software. And sitting from his home, the customer could log on to the headquarters which placed at Memphis and see the status of his parcel. To another 20,000 best customer, that is 21,000, 22,000, 23,000, and so on, So the remaining, the next 20,000 best customers, they did not give them the PC, but they gave them the FedEx ship software. And when this software is loaded on the PCs of the individual customers from their home or office, wherever they were placed, they were able to track the parcel without any loss of time. And this is most critical. So, Federal Express, what they did is they identified what is um they identified what is critical for a courier company, and this strategy was, let us help the customers, and because this is what is critical for them. So in an online package tracking system and flight management system is their innovation. And under this scheme, they identified the 20,000 best customers. They identified the 20,000 best customers based on two criteria. One was the volume of business given by them, by the client to FedEx, and how long he has been a customer. Keeping these two parameters in mind, they were able to identify 20,000 best customers. They ranked all the customers, and the top 20,000, they give them a PC free of charge, free of cost, and also a FedEx ship software. And by installing the software on the PC, the customers, from their office, from their home, from wherever they were able to connect to the headquarters in Memphis and see the status of parcel, how far it has reached, and whether it will be able to be delivered to the customers on time or not. And to the next 20,000 customers, that is 21,000, 22nd, 23rd, 24,000, and so on, till the 40,000 customer, they gave them a FedEx ship software, only the software, not the PC, so that they could, again, they also would be able to log on and find out where your product is before being delivered. So this is the third strategy that we use. First strategy was that of cost leadership, wherein we took an example of Dell and eBay online auction. Then we talked of differentiation strategy, where we talked of Apple and Avnet. Third, the innovation strategy, where we have taken two examples. One is Charles Schwab's online discount trading system, and the second is Federal Express package delivery system. So for the first, cost leadership, we talked about Dell and eBay's online auction. Second strategy was differentiation, where we discussed Apple and Avnet Marshall. Third is innovation strategy, where we are focused on Charles Schwab's online trading system and Federal Express's parcel tracking system. Now let us move to the next strategy, that is the strategy of growth. Now, what is the strategy of growth? Again, the growth strategy should be such that it will be able to increase your market share in the market share vis-a-vis its competitors. So this is a growth strategy wherein we use information technology to manage the regional business expansion, or that is what we mean by growth. We should adopt a strategy using IT, which should be able to increase our market. It will be able to increase our business, which will be able to increase our market share. So we use information technology to diversify and integrate into other products and services. So your growth could be that either you have a larger market to serve, or you have more products to serve. Thereby, again, you can also increase your market. We have an example of City Corporation's global internet, and the basic business benefit that they got was increase in the market. We have other examples like that of we have other examples that of Walmart merchandise ordering by global satellite network, and Toy R Us uh, point of sale inventory tracking system. And both of them, for them, the benefit was they were able to increase the market leadership. They became the market leaders. They were able to increase the market share, and then thereby they became the same market leader. So we use growth as a strategy, where we either expand across the markets that we have. So we were increase the region in which we were supplying our goods, or Across the globe, we increase our markets using information technology. We have example of city corporation, global internet, and the business benefit was increasing global market. The other strategy is one is we increase the market, so we call it business expansion. It could be across the globe or across your region where you're operating. The other is could be in expansion across the products and services. So if we had four products and services, now we have four products and services. We tomorrow we increase the number of products that we offer. So we call expansion across your product line expansion. So the two things that we can do is, one is we can with the same products we can enter new markets, and we can increase the markets to which we were serving, global market expansion or regional market expansion. And the other is product line expansion. Or so there are two ways that we can ensure that we have growth. One is product line expansion. Okay, product line expansion, which means that we were giving you only two products, now we are giving you 10 others. We were giving you two products, now we're giving you five others. So it is what we call business, which we call product line expansion. And there this market expansion, where we were serving earlier in two markets, now we serve in more than two markets, three markets, four markets, or whatever. So that is what we mean by regional expansion, global expansion, and the other is product line expansion. Now we have very prominent example, that of Walmart. We'll try to cover the case of Walmart in this in subsequent classes. Now, what Walmart did is it it's moved into global satellite network, where it connected all its distribution centers with the retail outlets. Each distribution center was serving n number of retailers. Each distribution center was serving n number of retailers. It had 19 distribution centers, which were serving more than 200 different retailers. So in an online, they connected them online through global satellite network, so that each distributor which was supplying to say maybe 20 or 40 retailer were connected to the retailer. And what do you call, as and when uh, orders were customers came to Walmart stores and bought their products, as and when products sold off the shelf, it automatically send a instantly, and message was sent to the distributor that this product has got sold. So if you're buying Surf Excel, that element, they use point of sale scanners to scan the item which was sold. So the price at which was sold, what is the item which was sold, a Surf Excel was sold, how many units of Surf Excel was sold, if 1 unit or 10 units are sold, what is the SKU? SKU is a stock keeping unit. A stock keeping unit means the size at which it was, the size of the packet, whether it's a sachet, or whether it's a 1 kilo packet, or whether it's a 5 kilo packet, and also the brand and the price. So it is important, like in a hostel, you would not be buying a 5 kilo packet. You possibly would working with sachets. So you should know that this is a retailer which is supplying to the hostels. So therefore, their requirement of the sachets are going to be higher rather than the requirement of a 5 kg pack. 5 kg pack. But when a family does a purchase, they would always go in for a larger pack, because they would go in for a larger pack. So it is the SKU, the stock keeping unit, which also has to be uh, keeping track of. So it's not that knowing that a Brook Bond has been sold, tea has been sold, and whether it is starter tea or Brook Bond tea, or like what is the brand which is selling, whether it's Ariel which is selling, or it's a Surf Excel which is selling. It is not only the brand but also the SKU of the product sold. So it would be able to track. And earlier they would stock goods for 7 days. So on a Monday they would place an order to the distributor. Each retailer would place an order to the distributor, and on Monday, every Monday, stock of items would come to the retailer shelf from the distributor. So the distributor would dispatch or send a truck load of items to the retailer every Monday. So this was this was what was happening. So in every seventh day, the stocks were being compiled as to which product has been sold, and an order would be sent to the distributor. The distributor would compile, see how much items of Surf Excel, how much of garments, how much of what garment, how much of tea, how much of what item is being demanded by each of the retailer, and a truck would dispatch from on a Monday from the distributor to the retailer. But in this, so they were maintaining a 7 day stock. When they were maintaining a 7 day stock, uh, they had to carry the stock for 7 days. So the carrying cost or the stocking cost was very high at the retailer shelf. But now, using the system, they would know instantly as and when the sale takes place at the retailer end, it gets recorded at the distributor end. So the distributor knows retailer one has sold off these items. Retailer sold off the second set of items. So the distributor is able to keep track on a daily basis. So they shifted from a 7 day stocking system to stocking goods on a daily basis. So every day a truck, earlier on seventh day a truck would leave. Now every day the truck would leave from the distributor premises to the retailer premises and stock goods. So, from a 7 day stocking syndrome, they move to a 1 day stocking syndrome. From a 7 day cycle, they move to a 1 day cycle. And thereby, the carrying cost at the retailer end came down. So, this is innovation they brought about simply by using information technology. There is much more on this case which I'll discuss, but so far, let me wind up and just find out anything else you want to know or anywhere there's you seek clarity before I proceed. Yes, students, any clarity that you want? We have discussed innovation. In that context, we took Charles Schwab's, we took Federal Express. Now we are discussing growth as a strategy, and we are taking the example, we are discussing the example of Walmart, which moved, which used information technology to connect all the retailers with the distributor and so they shifted from a ordering system of 7 days to 1 day. Any query you have? I will call it a day today. Yes. Any query do you have now? Anything you would not like to know?
No, ma'am.
So I think we call it a day and we carrying on in the next class from here.